Nice shades. Very nice.
Like that.
He's just can't help himself. Great T-shirt too, by the way.
It is a great T-shirt.
Great T-shirt. Is that the one, Spencer? Your wife wears that one all the time, right?
To sleep. She wears it always.
My wife wears that one, and then when she was pregnant, she would wear the Traders for a Cause T-shirts.
Oh, those were soft, really soft.
Those are really soft, so she loved those. Yeah, that was back in the day. We're past.
Yeah, I don't know where those went. So many T-shirts, so little time.
So many.
Oh,
it's long sleeve shirt season. It's my favorite season.
Is it your favorite season? Fall is my favorite season.
It's sweater weather. Sweater weather. All right.
So Strazza showing off his new hat. The meme ETF is back.
This whole market is a meme right now.
The market is a meme. Interesting that all the stocks with the highest short interest are the ones that are doing the best.
Yep. Yeah, you like that, right? It's nice.
So dumb, right, JC? So stupid.
I love that people think it's stupid. People are like, "Oh, it's the market that's stupid. It's not me." Yeah, I'm definitely not the idiot that's been shorting stocks in a bull market. Yeah. It's definitely the stupid kids that are making poor decisions. That's what it is.
So you put a trade on HIMS yesterday?
Dude, I put on 3 trades yesterday. I said I was going to buy more stocks, and I did. I got in the HIMS, and I got in a biotech, and I got in a nuclear stock? What was the third stock that I bought yesterday?
Doesn't even remember.
We put on HIMS in the morning. The stock was only up a couple percent. When we put the trade on, we already sold half. More than doubled by the close. I don't know what happened to it yesterday. The CEO was.
Oh, you're in the HIMS too?
Yeah, we put it on first thing in the morning.
You put on HIMS yesterday morning, really? I put it on like mid-morning. I didn't know you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I put it nice. See, great minds. Yep. But remember, when I took profits on that, like in the summer, I think it was like, okay, it's over for now, but let this thing dance. And if this thing breaks out again, there's a new trade. I think that's what's happening now.
Yeah, we were trading like late last year and then just forgot about it for a while.
Well, remember, retested that. Yeah. Let's talk about it later. Let's get this party started. What do you say?
Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning show. Spencer, Steve, JC, in that order, left to right on your screens. It says so on the bottom, if you don't know who we are by now. Jeff Mackey on the show today. We'll have Kenny Glick on the show today. I don't think we'll have Sean on the show, sadly. It's like midnight for him right now. Why are the charts up? Let's get the charts off the screen. He's in Hawaii, so they're like a million hours behind us. So it's the middle of the night. I don't think he's up now. Which is a shame, but he'll be back next week. A lot to discuss today. Metals, mining stocks, got a couple earnings, but nothing too interesting on that front. Jeff is going to tell us why Walmart is a tech stock now. If you guys didn't see that the last few days, wow. Walmart, holy cow, heading to $1 trillion. Yeah.
What nice pop. Really.
No kidding.
Great breakout. Cool.
So that's what we got going on. How's everyone doing?
How about earnings? First of all, my Restream background has changed. Did that happen to you guys? I have a black background now.
Your background has changed.
Yeah. Restream. It's completely different.
You got dark mode. Huh. That's what it's called. That's what the kids call it, dark mode, bro. It's better for the eyes.
Did you change it for your eyes, Spencer?
I didn't do anything.
Spencer doesn't know how to do that.
I do, but my eyes are fucked. But that's not what this is about.
You know what's really funny, and this is a good lesson. Like we were just joking around before the show started, talking about how I forgot the third stock that I bought. This is real life here, guys. Not only did if I couldn't think, I was like, well, I bought one more. I couldn't think of it. I've already moved on to see what's next. My mind is so far removed that I'm looking forward. Strazza, I spent half an hour with Riley on the phone yesterday because I bought a space stock. right?
Yeah.
And I've already completely forgotten. I was like, when I had to go back and see it. I was like, what did I buy? I'm like, oh yeah, duh. That whole conversation I had with Riley. So he was telling me all this stuff's like the CIA of space or some shit like that.
That's dope.
I mean, I was gonna buy it anyway, but it is kind of dope, right?
The new South Park episode was about Palantir and Peter Thiel.
Really?
That was
Is
pretty, yeah, that was
it
pretty
good? Do I need to watch it? Was it good?
Is it topping?
Yeah.
Is it
Their
topping?
shows have sucked lately, but this one was pretty funny, I thought.
All right, we'll have to check it out.
Throw up slide 4 there, just on the hymns. You know, it was a huge base, right? So it was working last year, obviously. And then you got that big breakout.
Yeah.
You got that big breakout this year. Throw up that slide 4. You got that big breakout this year, right? And then I bought the dip, right? Back to 25, right? That was during the tariff tantrum or whatever, right? I believe, right? So that dip was former resistance retesting, right? That's support retesting that former resistance. So you buy that dip, easy out, right? Easy out. And so what's the target? Back to the former highs, right? So anyway, we got there very quickly, quicker than I thought, obviously. And then it's like, okay, this is strong. Like, it'll break out. I got to tell you, it's taken longer to break out since then, which is fine. I got all the time in the world. I ain't going anywhere. But a breakout here above 63, you got another 50% upside. That's a lot. Short interest, all-time high, Strazza.
Yep.
This
I hate the
considered
stock.
a healthcare stock. I would argue maybe consumer discretionary. But Strazza, you're more of an expert at this sort of thing than me. Why don't you tell me what kind of stock this is?
This is an online retailer. They sell drugs on the internet. They make it so that you don't have to go to a doctor. There are certain treatments and medications that you could literally get in 5 minutes from your mobile phone, and they're getting shipped to your house.
I thought these were like hard mints and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one of their brands for sure.
Oh, got it. So they do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they own the hard mints. Yeah, but they're doing other stuff too. They're on the GLP-1s. They're really quick to market, these guys. So what they've been doing really since the COVID days, it started with COVID. Like, this was a COVID baby. Never would have been a business, never would have been around. We wouldn't be talking about today if it wasn't for COVID, because they stepped into the market when people couldn't go to doctors. And what the FDA did, or whoever makes those rules, they eased restrictions, saying, yeah, you don't have to go to your doctor. So now certain medications that you used to have to go to a doctor for, you don't, because there's a pandemic out there. So they snuck in and started selling anxiety and depression, all this other stuff. And then those restrictions came back on, right? And they were no longer able to do that. And then they pivoted to other markets, like the hard mints and the hair loss, and then GLP-1s at some point. So they just keep on like finding different revenue drivers and markets that they could enter based on like whatever these rules are for selling pills online. And I would imagine that these things only become more accessible online in the future, more and more treatments. So it's a great story. It's a great growth story.
You know, I like the strategy here of, nibbling here and then really putting on size on that breakout, adding to winners, adding to winning positions, the opposite of, Paul Tudor Jones, only losers average down losers. So if only losers average down losers, can you flip that on its head where the biggest winners average up winners? Like, is that accurate?
I guess, yeah. I mean, buy good stocks. Look, I think this one comes from a pond that I really like fishing in. We've been fishing in all year. What is that pond?
Is this ARC-y? Is this an ARC or no?
Totally.
Yeah.
But some of the best stocks from earlier in the cycle, look at what this thing did in 23 and 24, right? Have gone dead sideways for 6, 9, 12 months now, right? Since really last year's like post-election rally. You have massive consolidations that are just now starting to break out in stocks that were up 5, 10, 15x in 23 and 24, right? So you zoom out and say, really strong underlying trend, up to 12 months of digestion of those prior gains. If this bull market is still on, right, and we're going into some sort of melt-up mode here, these are the stocks, right?
Let me ask you something. Why are there so many haters?
Again.
What's the beef? What's the beef with the short sellers? High short interest ever. It's a contentious name amongst the short selling community. What's the beef here? Like, what are they so mad? Like, why do they think this is
there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Herb knows the story on this one pretty well. I'm not too well versed in it, but they're selling like the generic GLP-1s. That was a big issue. Certain drugs that they do sell, maybe it's a gray area, or maybe they shouldn't be allowed to sell online, right? That's another criticism. But the GLP-1s, they were sending them to people, and they had to like figure out like how to like shoot them in themselves and stuff. So that was I guess a little controversy that they dealt with. I don't.
All right,
I don't
let's
know,
talk about the
dude.
rest of the market. What do you say, Spencer?
Yeah, let's do it.
I also.
And we
Teledoc
got
looks
the
good,
Dow. What, Strazza?
Teledoc looks good too.
Teledoc.
Speaking of the winners, I think you can buy the losers too in this market.
That's the top. You got the Dow up 100 points this morning, 46,600. You got the S&P 500 futures up almost 30 handles, 67.43. You got NASDAQ 100 futures up 0.2%, 162 to the upside, back above 25,000 for the NASDAQ 100 futures, 25,085 to be exact. 30-year bond futures up close to 0.5%, 118.5. Crude oil up 0.5%, 58.5. Copper down 1.3%, back under 5. Copper at $4.95 right now. Gold up 1.2%. New all-time highs for gold. Surprise, surprise. 42.50. What a beast. This thing just keeps on chucking along. Silver still above 50 right now, above 52 as a matter of fact, up 1.3% on the day with the VIX still at 20, bro. The VIX is still at 20 with the market at all-time highs. Unbelievable. Over in funny money land, Bitcoin 111,600 up 750 on the day. Ethereum 4055 up 1.7% on the day. You got Solana 197 up 1.7% on the day, and that brings the total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 3.75 trillion for the total crypto market cap. How do we feel about that?
I bought more useless.
Did you? I bought 3 dick butts yesterday.
Ooh, he's a dick butt whale. How many do you have now? You have a big family of dick butts.
I got 3 more yesterday. Couldn't help myself.
God, you got an army of dick butts.
Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday. I
How many
forget
you
what
have?
trades I'm putting on. Like I see, I'm already moving forward. I forget. I think it was yesterday.
Who has more dick butts than JC Parets?
Oh, there's some bigger whales out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Because
I'm
you're
not
up
that
there.
big of a whale.
You get invited to special dick butt parties?
I got a few. I got I'm like in a collector's kind of mood this week. Got myself a few magazine covers from the 60s. I got some good stuff. Picked up a couple of NFTs. You're the one looking for NFTs. I'm the only one buying them around here.
I got no balls when it comes to buying NFTs.
Can you throw up? I'll show you. I'll show you them at recess if you really want to see them. But throw up slide 5. This is an interesting one. Hits home with Strazza.
Huh?
The most heavily shorted stocks are the ones doing the best. Steve.
Yeah. I mean,
you like that? You like that?
I love it because
you know why? You know why Steve likes this? Because Steve has been in all of those stocks. You see.
Well, and also this is not a new thing. Right? People, every freaking cycle, this moment comes around and people act like it makes no sense. It wouldn't make sense if it didn't happen this way. This is a hallmark characteristic of any good bull market period, right? So back in 2020, 2021, these stocks were crazy. The worst stocks in the world, trust me, they drew down 80, 90% in the subsequent 12 months, but they were the best thing going. You had to be in them in 2020, 2021. So JC, we were ready for that moment. And really, you got like a taste of it last year during the post-election rally. So we've been sitting and waiting for that moment where the animal spirits were going to fully take over this market, and it was going to be time. Basically, the worst stocks become the best stocks. And
it's funny. People, people with their fun fundamentals, the fundamentals, they get very distracted by their income statements and their balance sheets and whatever. Fairy tales about valuation. They tell themselves. I mean, literally, it's insanity. Is really what's going on over there. What drives asset prices, folks, is positioning, right? It's positioning, and short sellers being mispositioned. The beauty of short sellers, and we focus, very much so in exactly that, is that if you're long a stock, I'm long stocks, Steve's long stocks, we're all long stocks. Great. We're promising to be future sellers one day, right?
Yeah.
I bought HIMS.
Totally.
One day I'm going to sell it. Hopefully it's at a higher price. Maybe it's at a lower price. I don't know. I wish I knew. I'd have no idea. I hope to sell it at higher. Either way, I'm going to sell it one day. I'm telling you that I am. It's a promise, right? if you're a short seller, you are a guaranteed future buyer legally by law, actually. By law, you have to cover at a certain point, and you're paying margin interest in the meantime to borrow those shares to be short. So you're paying along the way also.
Yep.
So at some point, you're covering guaranteed future buyers. The more short sellers, the more future buyers, regardless of whether the company is making money or losing money. It doesn't matter. They have to buy the stock.
Dude, look at the hatred for hymns in the chat. Like, you got to scroll a while. Great sentiment check.
So this one comes from FT, from the FT. This is the Financial Times, and coming from our friend, being tweeted out by one Ben Carlson. And then if you dive into the FT, which I decided to do, you could see the returns this year by sector. And these are the sectors. The only one that's down is consumer staples, right? These are the most shorted stocks broken down by sector. As it turns out, it's only the consumer staples that are not doing well. In a healthy bull market, staples are underperforming. I can't believe it, Strazza.
Yeah.
And
right.
And technology is leading. Wow, never seen that before, ever in any bull markets.
And guess what else? Like, this isn't, when you think of the most heavily shorted stocks, like, staples is the last thing you think of. So like what is even in there? Like what is that? Like Celsius and shit. So I don't know why you would even do that kind of analysis. Look at that most heavily
I like
shorted
how
stock.
they did that. Why you listen? I'm a hater. I'll be a hater on journalists all day long, but this is good work, I thought. No?
When people are going to run hot stocks, right, and take advantage of a big short interest, they're not fishing in pond of staple stocks. That's all.
The point is the consumer staples are underperforming in a bull market. I think that's the takeaway, and I think that makes sense.
Yes, even the heavily shorted ones. Yeah. No, but look. So what's number one here is that, tech. And then where's discretionary? Discretionary should be right after it, no?
Discretionary is actually towards the lows, believe it or not. You got industrials, financials, tech.
Tesla's weighing on that, right? Because that would be the heavily shorted discretionary.
Yeah, I mean, discretionary hasn't been doing as well as any of those others, as you're well aware. So this is consistent with all that. Here's what Ben Carlson has to say. Ben Carlson, friend of ours, shout out Ritholtz Wealth Management, our friends over there. Ben says, one way to view this chart, this is the heavily shorted chart. So if you go to the one before that, this is the one that Ben is talking about. There you go. Ben says, one way to view this chart is that speculation has gone off the rails, right? So that's what the short sellers are saying, that the people are crazy these days. The market doesn't make sense. Everything's broken. That's what they say. Ben says another way to view this chart is that hedge funds are just really bad at picking which stocks to short. I like what Ben's doing there. Shout out Ben Carlson.
Yeah, there's something there. He's probably
right. I was with Ben at the Bush concert the other day out in California, and he was rocking out. He was having a great time. That whole crew was having a great time.
I'll bet. Fun guys. Hedge funds suck. They've sucked for like this whole cycle.
We have the data. Remember when the hedge funds were super net short small cap Russell 2000 a couple months ago? How's that working out for them, huh, there, Strazza?
I feel like, and you would know a lot more about this probably than me, because you probably remember how it was more when more hedge funds were doing well, right? Probably in the early 2000s. But at least for most of my career, it seems like when it comes to hedge fund alpha, there's 5% of funds, maybe 10% that are sick. They're really freaking good at what they do.
And there's another 5% that's okay, and the rest underperform.
Yeah, right? Like, you got to, like, if you're not in the handful of real good ones, then you're probably in a shitty one. So the hedge fund industry is just interesting the way that kind of works.
Throw up slide 7 there. We're looking at small caps. So the hedge funds that Strazza's talking about that are historically the worst investors of all time, like, we have the data. It's not like, hey, like we know, like, they're the worst ever, right? And they have the most money being the worst ever. So it's great to do the opposite of what they're doing. And what they were doing a couple months ago was shorting the Russell 2000 small cap futures at the most aggressive rate ever. So rather than try to be smarter than everybody else, it just seemed a lot easier to just be like, hey, those guys that are always wrong at extremes, and they're right now extremely doing this, let's do the opposite of that, which was obviously buy small cap stocks. And that has worked out tremendously for the reasons that Strazza laid out earlier, that they all suck at this, right? So we bought small cap stocks. Now I want to overlay the transports, because the short interest in the transports is also making new 52-week highs. And the transports and the Russell 2000 they've been dancing together. They've been dancing the underperformance tango, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Little underperformance tango here, the two of these. And with the Russells making new all-time highs, how far are the transports?
I think the transports go. It's the same pattern. Love what you've done here, right? And we're seeing these bases. Dow just went, right, from a similar pattern. So I think it happens. It happens really soon.
You know, listen, on Friday, you had that sell-off on Friday, failing at those highs. You know, for me, it was like, listen, how long is this going to take to finally break out above those highs? Holy shit, did that happen fast?
Yep.
And, you know, as somebody, listen, I'm super jaded at this point, and we make, we make fun of ourselves here because, like, we're numb at this point. I saw crude oil trade below zero. I was across the street from Bear Stearns, and it just disappeared overnight. Like, I've seen some shit, right? So for me, like, to be like, wow, I got to tell you, the action in the Russell 2000 this week has kind of been a little bit of wow. You know, I'm very impressed. And when I am like, when something kind of surprises me, like, to me, that's a big signal. And I think transports could be next. And then before we bring in Kenny, don't let me forget, people hating on me. JC missed the AAII this morning. You know that I was watching that AAII last night at 2:00 in the morning while you were sleeping. I know what happened. The Bears are back. Throw it up. Throw it up. Throw up the Bears.
I was going to mention that, and I was going to also mention the Bank of America Global Fund Manager Survey that just came out.
And if I could,
the Bears are back. 40. Half the fucking individual investors are bearish. Man,
I don't know how to read this. Yeah,
you can't
Jesus.
even make this up.
Happens fast, huh? Look at the way. I mean, you get wild swings in this week over week. That's too much in 1 week. That's a big whatever. I'll also add to the conversation about the Russell 2000 and transports. How about them micros?
Yeah.
You want that confirmation? Right. Well, how about those micro caps?
So why do you think the transports and the little guys trade so much together?
Transports are not big stocks, for one.
True. Is that the only reason you think?
They're kind of small caps. No, they're economy stocks, right? They're old economy stocks. Talking about freaking railroads here and truckers.
I know. I just always found it odd how much the Russell 2000 and the transportation index trade together. Like, I just found that odd.
They're yesterday's economy stocks, real economy stocks, old economy stocks, while the large cap averages are dominated by new economy stocks, growth stocks, tech stocks, software, semiconductors.
Here's the other one that Spencer was talking about, the fund manager survey with the 60% of investors saying that stocks are overvalued.
They're super exposed to stocks, right? Very exposed. But I did see it was the very first time that AI was cited as the top concern. AI valuations, AI bubble, whatever the hell they said. That was the top tail risk.
Great. So they think that AI is the biggest concern, not the biggest tailwind, the biggest concern.
Tail risk.
And they also think that 60% of them think that stocks are overvalued here.
Yes.
You know, really interesting that going into that 07, 08 great financial crisis, none of them thought that the stock market was overvalued when it actually was. Amazing how that happens.
I need Bank of America to show me about an extra 10 years on this chart for it to matter. I would love to know how overvalued people thought stocks were in the late 90s.
Dude, I love that people think stocks are overvalued.
They are so overvalued.
Don't buy them.
They've been overvalued for... They've been overvalued for a decade now. Is basically that's what this says to me.
Valuations are a distraction. Like, what do people not understand? Like, we have the data. It's not like, oh, JC, this fucking crazy Cuban hating on fundamental guys. No. We have the data. It's free. It's all there. Go run the data yourself. You will see valuations are very consistently just a distraction. Rising valuations has no correlation with stock market returns. Falling valuations has no correlation.
I would argue they do. I would argue there is a relationship because in bull markets, valuations go higher. There's an uptrend in valuations in most bull markets. In other words, price is rising, earnings aren't keeping up. Price to earnings multiples are steadily rising in bull markets.
I'll give you that. Multiple expansion, they call it, right?
Yes. But that's another.
You see what I did there?
But that's another hallmark characteristic of a bull market.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. The direction, the rate of change of valuations, you're suggesting. Yeah, but you know why the rate of change of valuations? Because of the fucking numerator.
No, I'm just saying valuations rise.
Right,
all things equal.
Because the numerator is driving.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it for sure.
So fine,
But
if you want to like arbitrarily, divide the numerator by something as ridiculous as earnings, then knock yourself out. But don't forget that what you're saying that you get multiple expansion in a bull market is because the number on the top of the fraction keeps going up.
people just need something to complain about. It's absolutely, JC. Like, imagine what kind of a bull market would it really be if risk assets were getting less expensive? Would that be a bull market at all?
That would be weird. That'd be
Didn't
weird.
you say that's
Like,
what's going
come
on
on,
with
dude.
Nvidia? Nvidia's getting cheaper or something, you said?
So
Yeah, Steve.
I don't know.
Come on.
I got
That's
nothing
the
else on
exception?
this. Thanks, Bank of America. Jesus.
All right, Kenny, are you here? What's going on? In
Yeah, ask
Land?
Kenny about hymns. It's looking pretty erect out here.
Oh,
Okay.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
ooh, Mr. Kenny
All
Glick.
You start talking about numerators, man. I just had a flashback to solve for X. What the hell's going on here? There's no math on the quiz. Listen, before we get started, I want to forego my segment to play that video. Just play that video. Can you play the video? Play the video.
Is it safer? Is it safe for work?
It's safer than what he just said. So play the video. This is
fair.
from 13 years ago. The same arguments, and it's the same exact day. It's the same market. Crank it up.
Right. What is this?
Oh,
I want to play. I want to
It
play.
always has issues
Wait.
playing the YouTube.
Of this
You got it.
market. I really do.
Okay.
It
Come
is
over.
so easy to make money.
Oh,
Wait, can you
really?
hear it?
I find it so difficult.
How can you find it difficult? It's the easiest thing in the world. Actually, it's free money.
What makes you say that?
Well, think about it. You have the US government promising everyone that they will buy everything forever. How can it be difficult to make money in that environment? You just have to make sure you buy it before they do. You have to buy the dip. If you don't, then you're a fucking idiot. Just buy the fucking dip and you will make money too.
I don't know. I am getting very scared. It feels like we are at the top of the market, and as soon as I start buying the dip, the market will finally crash and I will wipe out what little I have left from being short.
Did you not hear a single word of what I just said? Buy the fucking dip.
But, are you not worried about the bigger issues at play? Sovereign leverage, Asian deflation, domestic unemployment, job migration, dollar debasement, trade protectionism, Keynesian liquidity traps, and so many more issues greater than both you and me.
Seriously, you are not fucking listening. Buy the fucking dip.
This is
If
from
you don't,
2011.
you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, this video's
I know I am an
15
idiot,
years old.
but I cannot help but thinking that this is merely artificial wealth creation. Sooner or later the truth will dawn on people that Bernanke is merely inflating asset prices without any
Bernanke.
bearing on GDP growth or unemployment. And the markets will be in free fall.
Look, what we have here is failure to communicate. Let me make my position very clear to you in no uncertain terms. Buy the fucking dip, you fucking idiot. There, I said it. Is there anything in those 7 words you do not understand?
HMMMM, I guess it's pretty clear. Just buy the dip, right?
Bravo. Just buy the fucking dip.
But I lost most of my money on this rally having
oh,
tried
shit.
to be short.
yeah. No, we're
I
good.
have very little left.
Fuck. All right,
All right.
all right,
She
whatever.
goes on and says,
Drop
well,
the
this-
link in the chat for everybody to go see it. But
This-
by the way,
this
this is 2011.
That's a member of my room back then made that video.
Dude, that's some
All right.
sick AI.
That was
No, that was before AI.
yeah,
No, that's
Yeah,
AI.
that was-
that was AI. We just didn't know it.
you had to type.
Oh, back then.
You actually typed in the script, and then the cartoon would say it, and that's why it was a HMMMM. It was a That's how it said it. So fast.
Hey, hey,
It
Kenny.
goes on and on. It lists all the reasons that the market was going to crash then, and it's just all.
I just dropped the link in the chat twice.
Hey,
so,
guys.
And it is timeless. And it because the same thing, like it's Bernanke then, the Powell now, or whatever, but
Yeah.
like it's the same nonsense over it. I mean, they're just recycling the same bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it-
Hashtag BTFDYFI. Guys, what is a Keynesian liquidity trap?
I've never heard that before.
Whoa.
I don't know.
She said
Whoa.
Asian
I don't know.
deflation at one point.
Oh my God.
That was awesome.
It-
Thank you, Kenny. That was
All right,
great.
Kenny, we're not going to let you go without a trade. What's moving?
Listen, if you guys are, I've been trading futures for the first time in a long time because a lot of the move has been happening overnight. If you guys are not using VWAP to trade futures, you should. Just an easy trade. But yeah, Taiwan Semi and UAL today. So Taiwan Semi already starting to shape up as a buy. You know, even though it's gapped up, you already had your fake out, shakeout. So chances are it's going to be a buy. But UAL, you had some really good moves last night. Reversal, got back down to those pre-market lows, opened up the pre-market lows and already rallied. So I got to keep my eye on that. But I got two weird symbols for you. I think it's a dyslexic moment in the market. You got UROY. I don't know if you guys know about this, another uranium stock just going crazy. So you got,
I love how Kenny knows all the uranium stocks.
Yeah, UROY, and then you got Roy J, RYOJ. No clue what this is, but was trading it last night, just all over the place. I think it's some Chinese fake company, I'm sure, but the symbol is so similar to the other symbol because that's the market we're in. You'll buy the wrong stock. And if you guys don't know the Q's story, when I told my son to just buy the Q's and you'll be wealthy, next thing you know, he's got QS in his account. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, you told me to buy the Q's. I'm like, oh, the stock's at 50%. So I'm like, well done, son. You're the greatest. Well done. But yeah, I mean, you're buying stocks. And again, I don't want to debate about whether this is a bubble or not. It definitely is. We're buying stocks because the symbol and the letters are similar to another stock that was working. So again, this is the market we're in. Keep an eye on it.
This reminds me of back in the day. Remember when Ethan Allen, the stock was ripping because people thought they were buying Ethereum?
Yeah.
Remember that? Ethan Allen had to change its ticker symbol because people were trading that stock, ETH, because they thought that they were buying it. This is real life.
Yeah, I remember. I remember all that stuff. I mean, I lived every market. That's why now I've learned. Last Friday could be generational lows as far as I'm concerned. That one sell-off is all you're going to get. That one sell-off. So right now we're still inside that big candle from last Friday. Until we come out of there on the downside, we just got to think this is another consolidation ready to break out to rip to all-time highs. And it is. So, I'll play these moves. We had some shorts on the last couple of days, crushing the metals, crushing uranium stocks. I destroyed UUU and USAR yesterday. But then, went back to the Morgan Stanley. It was boring, but, it worked. It was a very boring trade, but finally broke VWAP, made some money on. There's so much action going on. I'm definitely watching Taiwan Semi and UAL. But man, if you don't have your eye on these nuclear stocks and the metal stocks, you're not playing this game. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I wanted to show what Kenny's talking about in real life. If you could throw the new slide too. This is real life, guys. This was real life for some time there. And the type of market that you're in when people are just buying things because of a random ticker symbol by accident, all that stuff, like that's indicative of the type of market environment we're in. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
You had ethanol futures moving with Ethan Allen and Ethereum all at the same time. I mean, it was unprecedented.
Right. It's funny.
Granted, the correlations had spiked, pretty heavily to 1 at that point, but not the point. Not the point.
If you go back and watch the rest of that video, it's just even more hilarious when I forgot what she says. Oh, she's like, what you're describing sounds a lot like a pyramid scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's a buy the dip scheme. You feel me? It's just awesome. And the thing is, it's 14 years ago, that video, and it still plays. And I watch it every 3 months to remind myself.
Do you remember the rally monkey? You would go to a website and there'd be a monkey jumping up and down.
Yeah, rally monkey. I remember when the internet first got started, it was all porn and a dancing guy with a banana, right? That was all you had, right?
It was like a little kid. It was like a little dancing. Yeah.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Let's go back to those days. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys tonight.
Oh boy, hitthebid.com, guys. Trade with Kenny every day. If you missed our stream yesterday, he'll be doing another one every Wednesday for the next 2 weeks, right in the heart of the earnings season. This is what Kenny trades every day. So hitthebid.com. Trade with him every single morning. We got Jeff Mackey in the house, and we got a lot to discuss with Jeff. There's retail headlines. There's Halloween. There's the consumer. Is it weak? Is it not? Who can say? Jeff can say is the answer, actually. Jeff knows. So let's bring him out.
Yo,
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
What's up, boys?
Oh, Mr. Mackey, how are you, sir?
I'm feeling fresh as a daisy. Just back from New York last weekend. Was seeing the sights. Took in a little play. Had a little dinner. It was nice. It's a nice town. We saw The Great Gatsby, which yeah,
Is that
big
good?
fan of the book. It's kind of a not the best musical you ever seen in your life. Amazing performances. I like to sit up front with the kids because I like them to kind of get that visceral, like this is what live performing looks like thing. And Broadway never disappoints. You know, I mean, they got some.
They're great, dude.
Yeah, really fun, really good night out.
I'm not like Mr. Broadway guy, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not
but,
either.
I've been to a million shows. It's very impressive.
Yeah, it just is. If nothing else, you always come away just going, well, that's a whole different level of talent than you normally see. I mean, it's there's wailing kind of songs, and it's a good book, and so it was a nice time with the kids.
Dude, I saw Frozen, the musical, recently, and you know who stole the show is the Duke of Weaselton.
The Duke of Weaselton, really?
Yeah, have you seen
really? That's your
Frozen, the
favorite
movie?
character?
I have a 5-year-old daughter, so I've seen it a million times. You know the Duke of Weaselton?
Yeah.
Weaselton, like the little snotty little guy who's dancing with with the sister.
Sure.
That guy ends up like that character like took on a whole nother life of itself, like in the play. I don't know. I just thought it was, I get impressed with shit like that I'm not good at,
Sure, exactly. And that's exactly it. I can carry a tune, but I mean, this guy's wailing Daisy, talking about the green light. And it's like, well, damn, I sort of can, and they mentioned Minnesota a lot because it's Scott Fitzgerald. So what's not to like? Not a damn thing. We also went to RH. We went to the Restoration Hardware restaurant.
Sure.
Which was a terrific restaurant. It doesn't make up for the 50% decline in the furniture sales of that furniture store, but the fact that they got like 5 or 6 expensive restaurants. Yeah,
down in the Meatpacking, they got one. I've been there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Really?
It's beautiful,
Yeah.
and they've got a housing development in Aspen, which is also a little far afield from a furniture store, but that's what they're doing. They've got jets, they've got yachts you can rent. It's a strange business. It's a very strange business and an awful chart.
The morning that my daughter was conceived, that day we went to Restoration Hardware in Napa, and my wife and I, because we lived in Sonoma at the time, we spent the day in Napa. That's the day that my daughter was conceived.
In the Restoration Hardware?
Prior to going. Actually.
Okay. Well, that's still
Let's be
weirdly
civilized,
We can
Jeff.
talk
Come
about
on.
that later. But no, the store was actually empty, and the kids and I and the wife, we were having a good time just kind of flopping around on the furniture because there was no one there. It's 6 floors of furniture store that's largely empty, and then just a very nice little restaurant up top. So yeah. It was conceivable. If it would have just been me and Mrs. Mackey, who knows? A little romance could have broken out.
A wise man, Mr. Mackey, a very wise, good-looking gentleman,
I've
once
seen things.
told me that if he was stuck on a deserted island and had only one piece of information to tell him about the consumer, he would say Walmart's report. And so when I look at a chart of Walmart there in slide 2, making new all-time highs, I wonder if that, charming, good-looking man, what he'd be thinking about that,
I would be thinking about Walmart leaps is what I would be thinking about.
I got it.
I would be thinking about let's gun this some bitch. Let's
Put
go.
up the chart. Put it up.
Is what I'm thinking.
So
and
leaps in Walmart is the trade.
I that's the best one I can get so far. I'm already long, and so my first thing I did was I moved it from I felt like a trapped long because the chart didn't look that good and it was kind of digesting a big move, but I had gains in it, to a super idea I had to hold. Just, so I upgraded it to a great idea and a huge call by me, but it was really just the AI booster. It was the deal they signed with ChatGPT to sell through Walmart. If you think about it, JC, every other online shopping experience, except kind of that Amazon discount store, you type in light bulbs and you get 100,000 suggestions. It's the worst experience in shopping right now. And if Walmart can disrupt that, it's a big driver. And I have sent in another chart of just Walmart versus Amazon over the last year, in the last few years, and just recently. And I think what is going on there is that Walmart actually, there's the breakout, which is gorgeous. I mean, that's a good looking chart. And it took out the beginning of it took out those January highs that we'd seen and have been such a hurdle for the retailers because it's been so hard to pay more. And there's the last 3 months, but Walmart's really been outperforming Amazon for a while now. And Amazon's kind of had a lost period under Jassy, and he's got to turn that around. But in this case, I am loath to kind of jump on to your Ethereum point when everyone was just kind of trading anything ETH a few years ago. AI has gotten a little bit that way. Go with the flow. That's fine. I don't really, I get the skepticism that AI is going to be a big deal for Walmart, but there's a huge window here. And Walmart, they finally have the infrastructure, the ability to ship like Amazon can fast enough with a zillion different products that if they can figure out a way to get that interface, that user experience, the shopping experience can be improved there in discount world, they can take some share. Amazon still has over a third of the online market. Walmart, it's 100 billion for them to make money off online sales. They're the only other kind of terrestrial non-cyber retailer that does. It's a big chunk of their business, 18% right now, so they could grow there. And so all of a sudden you interject the idea of potential revenue growth in a 65-year-old retailer, make it all-time highs, and it becomes a pretty cool story. I think it goes to just $1 trillion market cap, just to pick an arbitrary number. That's about 12% from here. And why shouldn't it? It's an American institution. It's the largest employer in the world, except for the Chinese army. Come on.
Is
Come
that
on,
true?
America.
It's the
Let's step
hold
up.
on, time out, slow down. This is the largest employer in the world. First of all, I didn't know that. That's impressive. Largest employer in the world,
2.1
and then the
employees,
Chinese
give or
army's
take?
bigger than that.
Chinese army's bigger than that. I'm not an expert on the Chinese army. I know a thing or two about retail though. And Walmart has over 2 million employees. It's a big company. They're large. It's a large and in charge company. And kind of talked about it all year that these guys win from the tariffs almost no matter what. It's an expensive stock for a reason, and it's because they're better positioned than any other non-cyber retailer, non-online. They're going to take share. They're pricing in basically all of Target's future earnings. They're eating Target's lunch, which is kind of sad to me because cheer for the home team, but I know people at Walmart too, so it's nice to see them doing well. But they have a really good management team, and it's just a first-class operation that's been much improved over the last 20 years. And so it's great to see. It's the kind of thing, are you going to get super psyched trading it? Sometimes, like right now would be one of those times. When it breaks out, it moves fast and it moves in a hurry, and then it just kind of bases out. You have a great stop point. You just use the former breakout point as your stop if you want to be a little cheeky about it. But it can go to 120 pretty easy. It becomes one of those year-end stocks where it's like these guys are going to win Christmas, in a kind of price conscious but still spending type of consumer environment. Walmart's going to win. TJ Maxx is going to win. That's another one. You pull that up. I didn't send it in, but I mean that made all-time highs yesterday. That's just a machine. It never lets you in, like all good trends. It's not going to let you in. It's not going to make it simple. You just gotta hold your nose and buy it from a valuation perspective. But it's a beautiful chart. It's just a nice 1 year chart, and they've got the fundamentals. They're crushing on earnings over and over again. They got the technicals that works, and they got the narrative, which is they have almost no tariff risk, and they just kind of win from other retailers' missteps. It's gorgeous. It's a great business model.
I actually have the chart of TJ Maxx, and while the boys bring it up, they're the new slide 2 is TJ Maxx. So one of the things you taught me is follow like whatever the hot moms are doing, like whatever the hot moms are, where they're going, what they're buying, all these things. My wife, I love her. I think she fits the category there. She loves TJ Maxx, number one. Look at this chart. And number two, if you want to throw up the Walmart chart again, we're not a Costco family. We are a Sam's Club family.
Nice.
I don't think my wife has any beef with Costco, pun intended there, I guess. But I think we're just Sam's people. I don't know why. I don't really have a strong answer. I think that's just what we have. I think because her mom was a Sam's Club member because it was close to her house. And then I think my wife was like using her number or something before we got an account or something. So I think that's
and once you're there, you like your stuff. And that's the thing with
there
good
a big
retailers.
difference between Sam's and Costco?
Not a huge one. You know, it's there's more one than Walmart would like. Costco's really good. They're the best of breed, but is it worth driving a little extra and changing your habits? No, especially that latter one. You got to beat people out of their habits, JC. Once you gain a customer as these big box, I go there a couple times a month at least type of store experiences. It's hard to get people to change. They'll stick with something they don't like for a while, but once they switch, man, they don't go back. And that's what happened to Target. They kind of through missteps, through just crappy merchandising, and they let the stores get a little rundown. Then they ticked off half the political world just for reasons that defy imagination. But that drove people over to Walmart, and they call it Walmart when Walmart was actually getting much better. That's a really nice combination. So you don't have to be great at the discount level, but you have to be as little bit better than people expect. Sam's Club does it. Costco does it, of course. They those club stores, they get just such nice bulk deals, and they make all their money on the memberships.
How big of a business is Sam's Club? Is it a big part of Walmart? How is that?
Yeah, geez, I think it's over 100 billion, I believe. I mean, I don't have it off the top of my head. They've got so much crap going on there.
But it's big.
It's big.
It's meaningful.
It's yeah. It would be its own freestanding company, and it would be a mid to larger cap type of retail operation just by itself. It's not as big as Costco, but Walmart itself does about $700 billion, $800 billion almost a year. So
is that all?
Yeah. So they're moving a lot of product. They're doing well over $1 billion.
There's diverse insights saying no hot moms in Walmart. For the record, my wife goes to the TJ Maxx physically. She orders Sam's Club on the app, on the Instacart.
And TJ Maxx, they're just doing treasure hunts. Every 10th hanger there is irrationally low priced. The CEO says that he's like, you're going to find every 10th thing you look at in this store is going to just seem like goofy. We're not making money on it. It's got to be a misprice. People love that. It's rich people that are well-to-do, well-heeled people like Mrs. JC. They like bargains. It's stupid to say they don't like bargains. It's just naive to think hot moms don't like to get a good deal. And the same math I do. I got 50% off, honey. I can't afford not to buy this. If I bought two, I would have gotten 100% off. It's like free. It's basically the same thing.
Strazza wants to ask you about underwear.
Sure.
Yeah, right. Speaking of hot moms, there's a question in the chat, and I had the same exact question. Throw up the chart for Jeff.
Victoria's Secret. Are you going to point this to me?
In my opinion, is a great American brand, a great forgotten American brand. This could be one of these, consumer comeback stories. No, Jeff?
I used to love getting the catalogs in the mail when I was a kid.
Because I'll tell you, as somebody who knows nothing about Victoria's Secret's business right now, buyers are back in control. They're back in control after a very long time. I find that interesting.
Victoria's Secrets is also the poltergeist house of all of retail in terms of karma. I mean, this has Epstein connections. It's got Les Wexner hooks. It's got all the. Is
that true?
Icky, creepy. Oh, that's very true. I shorted it based largely on the fact that they got a brand called Pink out front for the teens, and you go into the back, and it's like the bathroom. It scores in terms of the motifs. It was sketchy and weird for quite a while, and was a big part of kind of shorting L Brands when it was a part of another company. But you can't deny the price action on that. I love that recovery from that 2004 end of the year spike that they had, and then it got trashed. I was long that stock earlier in our portfolio. That move to 30s impressive, and you're right. They're Aerie from American Eagle probably should have done better. They had a chance to kind of lose share, but Victoria's Secret's hung in there, and they figured out how to kind of improve a little bit. And a little improvement goes a long way when you're a rundown retailer.
And haven't you seen that story before in retail? I mean, just this cycle where, there's a brand that got absolutely killed because of some creepy founder like Abercrombie & Fitch.
It's precisely Abercrombie & Fitch from exactly the same haunted mansion neighborhood of the Epstein. Same group of characters, man. There's just this weird sort of thing going on in Ohio that they just churn out these really odd retailers. But it's the brands get trashed. They came back all the way in the case of Abercrombie, and then some. It's especially you don't fall in love with, you have flings with it, and you kind of get involved there, and then you want to get out of the way. For the most part, they don't run. It's TJ Maxx and Walmart are different kind of stories. But for anything that's a mall type store, when they go on heaters, you got to be long. You know, it's that Canadian company I'll talk about, Aritzia. They're on a heater. You just, the margins are impressive when they don't do any markdowns. It's like Lululemon 5 years ago. Don't touch them now, you know, get out of the way. Like you don't stay in love with the story like that. But as long as that company was improving the way it was, holy crap, did you need to own it, because the numbers just looked like a misprint. They look like a software company that was selling clothing.
Hey, not for nothing, but I was informed last night by my wife that the Victoria's Secret fashion show has returned after a 6-year hiatus. I guess it's on Amazon now. So maybe that's a sign that their cultural relevancy is coming back. I don't know.
Now, like 40% less creepy. You know,
maybe
you know, it's maybe. I mean, it's they had Angel Reese as the celebrity kind of person walking out there. You know, at least she's fit and looks good and looks terrific. And so they're still kind of trying to figure out who the hell they're selling to, but they're doing a better job now than you know. They just went in all kinds of weird directions after the supermodel stuff. Just got, you know, they let that go on way too long. That had a
but that was years ago, right?
Yeah, but you know, man, it takes a while. You got to get a whole new generation of people to kind of come back to you, because that made it real easy to go out and shop these other brands and just go someplace that wasn't so gross, that didn't have so many skeletal women in huge, enormous, flamboyant wings walking across.
Yeah, the reason I even know this is because my wife showed me a picture. I guess they had a pregnant woman last night in the show. So, you know, a sign that they're just, you know, broadening their horizons. Anyway, if you want to find out,
that's like human being stuff. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, that's like real world. That's finally just discovering your brand. We don't need to do any type of gender stuff. We don't need to do huge people. It's like, you know what? Women get pregnant. Here's a gorgeous pregnant woman in nice underwear. I bet we can sell
then Mackie and I
that
talk
way.
about this. This is big. You know, Mackie went through it. I am still going through it. I was going through it before. Like, pregnant women and women with kids, like, they'll spend whatever. Like that business of, like, from the wedding business is a racket. The pregnancy, all that stuff, and then the baby stuff, like that period in like women's lives, I've had a front row seat to that. They'll spend anything, whatever. It doesn't matter if it's going to make
their size changes every 3 weeks, JC. I mean, holy crap. Like, what kind of turnover do you get? You buy normal Lulu tights and they're going to last you for 10 years. A pair of jeans will last you 2 decades. But if the maternity experience is an awful lot of money.
Spencer's
Spencer's
fast. Hardcore in that right now.
Dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so there'll be a spousal downsizing, and there'll be new stuff bought all along the way, not to mention the baby stuff, man. Spencer, your cash flow is a nightmare right now. Let me tell you something, as a recent empty nester, those kids are expensive as hell. And you know, you just find
I have a general sense for what we spend at Costco when we go. And now I have to readjust my mental model, because it's double that for all the diapers and the formulas, all the shit we were not buying before, right? Diapers, formulas, wipes, things that, you know, you don't need if you don't have kids, but now we need them all the time. And it just double my bill. Just whatever it was
and
before.
Just, I mean,
double,
the easiest
right?
upsell in the hit, you know, isn't your kid worth it? Are you really going to?
I mean, he needs diapers.
Yeah. Are you going to get the cheaper crib and save $200 and be less safe than the best one that's too, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
The 80% safe car seat, you know, you're not going to do that. You're going to go, you're going to pay up for it. You're going to pay full price.
Right. You're going to be the less safe parent. Come on.
No.
You know, but that's an interesting tell. I go into a discount store, and if the children's department is sloppy, if there's crap on the floor, that's an FU to customers. Moms will not shop that place. That was an easy tell, an early tell when Target was starting to fall apart. And it's a good one to this day. Just a rule of thumb, just chucking it out there for the folks at home who might go through a maternity section. If it's sloppy, no one's going to buy the infant section. No one buys nice stuff off the ground. And
Mackie,
so,
what's
you know,
the best play to take advantage of, like, that whole theme of, like, you know, moms. I mean, I guess they might be different things, but it's like the wedding, the having the baby, the newborns, like that period. Like, there should be like an index for that period in women's lives and the types of companies where they spend the most amount of money, because they're spending a lot.
You know,
and
I mean,
winning that game is getting paid.
I don't think it's a coincidence that we're talking Victoria's Secrets. It's if you can capture a category, that's where the marginal win comes from. These are 7, 8, 9% margin companies, JC. And so if they can capture just a category, just the fact that they're able to expand that maternity business. And another one, that's another one that Target had a great foothold in, and they're just spewing out share. So you look for who's dropping share and you try to get back in it. The kids is a tougher business. It's more crowded. Children's Place kind of just has a huge foothold in it, but it's there's a
I just
feeding
brought that
frenzy
chart
going on
up
for Target stuff.
That stock
What's
is
that?
$8.
What stock is Children's
Children's
Place?
Place. It's $8.
Oh,
It
it's
used to be $150 stock. It's $8
Yeah,
now.
yeah, it's been a tough road, and they've got all kinds of weird stuff going on. That's a different cup of tea that we don't have time for. But there's a lot of story there. It's $8, and it could be anywhere from 2 to like 15, and it would be just as fair valued. It's a strange story.
Jeff, is it one of those things where like a big winner in this whole theme is Amazon, right? Like mothers and their impulsive purchases and stuff like that. You can get it all there pretty much. I mean, is that like keep it simple, stupid? You don't need to overthink it. Like they're
let me keep it even simpler. Walmart's kicking crap out of Amazon right now, or at least they got a shot to. It's the charts aren't going to lie to you. Amazon's had a lost year. Now Amazon, it's more, it's cheaper. It's got much higher margins. It's growing faster than Walmart. All those things are true. The stocks are telling us that Walmart is kind of breaking higher and Amazon isn't. And I think that, Amazon gets more than 2/3 of their earnings away from retail, from AWS, basically. And so retail is a huge part of the revenues and not that big a part of their earnings stream. But they still have to keep it up to date. They need a refresh pretty bad in those stores. They've fallen behind that discount model where you just spray things at customers. You go try to buy vitamins and it's just this overwhelming type of flood of, oh my God, what is this? They haven't done much to kind of get to know their customers. They can just do much, much better on that front end. With the number of things they're investing in, it's not clear they're going to get into it, but it's the online world is growing faster in retail than the brick and mortar still to this day. We saw just credit card data today. Online or offline is flat. So the stores are basically flat. Online's grown to low mid digits, which is not terrific, but it's better and it becomes the growth story. And so Amazon has share to lose in the retail side. The stock's outperforming until Amazon kind of gets out of that crappy, just stuck in the 215 area forever type of base where it is. I'm long it, and that's where it just feels kind of gross. And Jassie's got to do better. Amazon was they haven't been doing well for the last 5 years. They've been really losing a lot of market ground, not just to their Mag 7 would-be tech group, but been beat by Walmart, getting pretty handily thumped by Walmart over the last 5 years.
All right, guys, if you want to find out what Jeff actually owns in his portfolio, use the link that's on the screen. And he puts out content just for his members every single week, what he's buying, what he's selling, what he really thinks of these earnings reports, and who's saying what. And there's no one that knows the space like Jeff. So get his portfolio. The link is on the screen. Jeff, always a pleasure. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, guys.
Adios.
He's up.
Just a couple of things from the chat. Julia hates Victoria's Secret. Okay, Julia. Harmander wants healthy models. I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. And Bub Didub's girlfriend is having a Victoria's Secret party. What is that, and can I come?
No, you cannot. Here's what you can come to, though. We're actually going to wrap it up now because we've been experimenting with some post-show content. Steve goes live on Tuesdays for his open bar. He'll be doing another one of those tomorrow. Today, we're doing something special. We're going to end this show, and if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll automatically be directed. JC and Olivia Vaz and myself, I'll be there as well, are going to go live basically right now at the open and kind of talk through things, talk about her trade, talk about the market. So we're going to be doing more just somewhat random post-morning show streams because it's the open. It's a good time to go live, right? It's a good time to do that stuff. So let's do a quick recess, very quick. Then we'll hop out of here and we'll be live in a few moments. But JC, you want to do a recess? Is that the deal?
Yeah,
all right.
Let's do it.
Quick recess.
All right, I'm very much looking forward to my conversation with Miss Olivia Vaz. I mean, she is absolutely crushing it. Made 30% on that trade the other morning. Fantastic. I did have a recess to follow up on yesterday's conversation. I love that Spencer likes the magazine covers. I appreciate that. I see you, dog. I
Freaking
see
love it.
You love it. Strazza like these. These are a couple that I picked up the other day. Slide 2.
More? You got more?
I told you I went shopping the other day. So these are 2 Newsweeks from the 1970s. The one on the left, the new gold rush, gold immediately peaked from there and went on to get destroyed. And then 5 years later, they came back. Said the gold rush of 79, again, that was the all-time high of gold, right? Gold immediately crashed from there. So those were a couple of good ones. And then you appreciate this one. This one coming from August of 1961. And, talking about a new bull market. And I don't know if you guys know your history of what happened there. But the stock market immediately got destroyed from there. It down about 40%, something like that, immediately after this cover, the new bull market. So that led to the great bear market of 61, 62.
Newsweek.
That was the last time Newsweek was relevant, 1961. All right. We got to hop. We're going live. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll automatically be directed. If you're watching us on X, there will be a stream there as well. Same thing with stockmarkettv.com. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jeff, Kenny, JC, Steve, people in the chat, as always. We'll see you tomorrow for Crypto Friday, but actually we'll see you in like 2 minutes to go live with Voz. So
if you're looking for a new strategy that's uncorrelated to what you're doing now, like I always am, this is that.
See you there.
Adios.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.